Hi there. How are you doing? How was that 1-1-1-1-1-1-1 portal weekend for you? The intense energy was wow, if you ask me. It was just simply off the charts. Adding into the incredible portal that we were in, the 111 and the source connection, and you add into that the CME that we had hit the Earth's atmosphere, and then the geostorms that were spouting off Saturday into Sunday, and then the solar flares Sunday night. It was wow. It was wow. It was, and everyone's gonna experience it differently, of course, but now we're in the I don't know, it's like the adrenaline was so high, and now there's this, I don't want to say crash, but it depends on where you're at with the energies, right? Some of you, it may have crashed you. Uh, some of you, it may have just been an easier transition. So I just wanted to tap into the energies. Two decks were screaming at me, so let's just tap in and see what the guides want us to know. I ask and I invite you to sit and breathe, call in your guides, your angels for the highest message for you. I'm going to start with the angels of Atlantis. Anything that you've got for us collectively, please. We've got two coming out. We've got Archangel Zadkiel with security. And we've got Archangel Zafkiel with ecstasy. Interesting combination for the collective energy. I feel like this weekend, the purpose of this weekend, this portal, was to show us whether or not we are still safe in the dreams that we have held on to for ourselves. That's what I'm getting from these cards, and from experiences. You may have been shown, well, I've always wanted this, but then you receive it as like it doesn't quite match where you are. It doesn't quite align. And you notice where it doesn't provide you with any kind of security that you maybe once believed it did. I do want to go ahead and read quickly. Oh, thank God these two are right next to each other. So we've got security with Archangel Zadkiel. The angels wish to assure you that they unite you with their powerful benevolence. Zadkiel in particular overlights your journey with comfort at this time. If you are disconcerted, angelic elixir will surge through you. If you are fearful, you will fear whisperings about your connection with the source. If you are diseased, Zadkiel will comfort you with manna from heaven. Chiefly, the angels will remind you that true security, they've got security in quotes, means self-cure. And so you will be returned to the well-being of the source. Additionally, the sacred symbol of the flower of life will drench your life in its wisdom, reminding you to reveal all to God. Reminding you to reveal all to God, as well as to ask the angels to take all challenges from you. Chant Ho, H-O-H, to bring stability into your emotional center. I like that word self-cure because we have traditionally been taught to look outside of ourselves, to outsource our security, our safety, our well-being, our emotions, our happiness, or, we've been programmed to look outside of ourselves for everything that we need. And Spirit is reminding us that it's all right here because Source is right in here, right? So with ecstasy, Zathkiel wishes you to know that divine ecstasy may come in any moment as a deep feeling of passion for your spiritual growth or as an aspect of your love whereby your whole being is transfixed with the choice you have made to join the my tongue can't form the word, mystical, I don't know why that was so difficult, pathway. The two gatekeepers on this path are awe and joy. I'm being reminded of a book. If you haven't read it, it's really, I love it. It's one of my favorites. Hind's Feet on High Places. I'm going to have to dig that out and look at that for myself. But they talk to you as like awe and joy and fear, and they talk as those aspects, both of which are closely aligned to ecstasy. As you experience this heightened state, which was yesterday, all weekend really, but yesterday was the highest I experienced ever, be aware of the whispers of the angels. As you see in the oracle, angels use this high frequency opportunity to impart sacred loving information to us through about our journey. They give our higher self information about a choice we need to make or how to open vistas of consciousness about our ethical existence. Trust the angels, for they will always have your heartfelt interest in their hearts. Chant Ha, H-A-A, in the heart chakra to open this channel of light-filled inspiration from the angelic realms. Yeah, I still stand by what I was getting earlier about, you may have been shown this weekend, or you've been being shown, and this weekend just kind of gave you a, yep, that's not my path anymore. That's not my dream anymore. I don't feel safe there because in that energy, whatever it is, whether it's with family, friends, loved ones, whatever it is, we initially probably had those situations or those connections for safety and security. And it's like, yeah, it's my security is different now. It doesn't require myself to abandon myself just for the sake of my security. And that's very specific. Well, the cards just jumped right out. Ace of Cups in the Chariot. Moving into a new, higher frequency of love, self-cure, self-care, self-love, moving into source energy, doing it quickly. This Chariot card, no matter what deck I use, has been coming out in all of my readings. All of them. Talk to me more, Spirit. What else do you need us to know? The Emperor. Really taking charge of our our own security, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, taking a dedicated stand in our truth of who we are. Knowing and trusting that our security lies within the heart space. I love the feel. I've always said this about this deck. I just love the feel of the cardstock, how it shuffles. I haven't used it in a long time. Got one that flipped. The Magician. Another major arcana. The Hierophant. another major arcana. This is huge. This is a huge transition. We are in, and I thank my friend Sadie from Yin Reiki Light for this word. We are in, collectively, an alchemical process. And right now, there are a lot of energies within ourselves, within our fields that are being transmuted. There's a higher power here. And the higher power is reminding us that it resides within us as a magician. It's not something outside of us. It's not something we've got to go out and look for. We've got to go in to look for. Five of Wands. Bit of resistance in that, I would say. I keep hearing choosing which battles. Why is that ringing a bell for me this morning? Speaking of Sadie, so I'm recording this on Monday, the 12th of January. She does a "What do you need to know" morning message every morning over on TikTok, and she shares it to YouTube. If you have not seen it, go search it out whenever you see this. But today's message was Stormy, the card Stormy, and she said something to that effect of, not all battles are worth the fight. So choosing the battle, your battles of the will, battles of the mind, choosing them very wisely, choosing them from the heart space, from a higher perspective. I'm being shown the what's it called, the hangman in my mind's eye, choosing it from a higher perspective, but from a very grounded perspective. You know, you've got the Emperor, you've got the Hierophant and the Magician. That I'm just getting this really grounded energy, especially from the Hierophant. I believe that's, can't remember what energy that is, but I'm just getting grounded energy, really remembering and allowing that higher knowledge and that higher source energy to ground into your vessel, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It just, when we're in that energy fully, then our battles can be, we can see them for what they really are, whether they're worth our time and our energy and our effort or not. And 9 times out of 10, they are not. But when it goes against our alignment, then that's when it's worth our energy. We've got the Queen of Coins here, nurturing ourselves, getting grounded, you right? Getting really Empress energy from that too. Four of Cups. Really zeroed in on how this bird, this messenger, is sitting on top of this Ace of Cups that we've got here in the beginning of the reading. Receiving messages of the heart, receiving messages of, and just keep hearing a new perspective on our dreams. It's quite possible that our missions are changing, our the soul purpose is shifting. Of course, everything's shifting while we're in this alchemical process. You think of, you know, turning lead into gold. You've got to keep things moving while they're hot. You've got to take one element and you're intentionally changing it into something else. Of course, they use turning metal into gold as a metaphor for our own internal experiences, right? But that bird is like, there's a message coming in. So I will clarify that in a moment. Give me one more card to finish out the spread, Spirit. Thank you. Five of Swords. Wow. Isis and Horus. Isis crying over the dismantling of her beloved Osiris. I have a twin flame message coming through that there could be some disappointments is the best word I can use regarding the unchanged the lack of I'm really struggling with the words here, so I'm just going to say it. So I'm just going to use the words that I didn't want to use. So it's like if you've had recent communication or spiritual communication, doesn't matter how, with your divine masculine, because he's showing up here, and I got Empress energy from the Queen of Pentacles here, seeing that they are still in old patterns, fighting the spiritual journey, fighting the higher knowledge. They're made, and you know, that's okay, because they've got their path as well, right? But there could be a moment of disappointment that things are still the same while you are elevating, connecting with source, opening the heart space, moving forward. You see it and you feel it in your life, in your field. You're mastering your emotions. But this masculine energy kind of feels like they don't see another way. They're really challenged with seeing another way. And there again, I'm seeing, why can't I think of this when it pops into my mind? The hangman. They're really being challenged with seeing a new perspective, seeing things in any other way than what they've seen them. So I don't know who that's for, but that's that. But I do want to take a look at this Five of Wands here. Oh, I love when they flip quick, because it's like the message is important. Seven of Wands. Yeah, there's too many walls built. But it's time to start breaking them down. Because really, where have they gotten you? What good are they doing? You know, there was a time when those walls gave you a sense of security. Those mindsets or whatever gave you a sense of security. If we're going back to this energy here, but now it doesn't. It's like, fuck, man. Okay, you know, there's like I feel like for a majority of whoever I'm channeling for, got a huge awakening this weekend. I know I certainly did, but it's brilliant how it came through. It's just so incredibly brilliant. Let me take a sip of my tea, warm my hands. Thank you. Okay, so the bottom of the deck, I do have the Two of Cups. So this could this could be twin flame. This could be family connections, friend connections. I feel like this weekend's portal was intending to show us, again, just to remind us, not showing us for the first time. Maybe some things are for the first time, or some things that we've known for a long time and we just kind of swept them under the rug and just kept grieving over the dismantling, the loss of this or that. But I feel like this weekend was meant to show us other people's resistance to us, for those who walk the spiritual path, knowingly choosing that. But also for us, it showed us where others are choosing not to. If this is a twin connection, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what kind of connection this is, but that emperor is just staring at me. I apologize. I'm having a hard time sitting up. Was sitting at this wall painting all day yesterday, and my back is like in stitches, so I'm having a hard time keeping my head in the in the view of the screen. I'm not shrinking here. Queen of Pentacles has something to say. I never noticed the snake in this card, reminding me of the Garden of Eden and that coin being the apple, right? Interesting energy coming off of this card. Maybe it's not the apple. Maybe it's something more tangible, more fruitful. No pun intended. It's like she's stepping right over that snake. She's very courageous. I don't know, what do you want to say? She's got one hand on the snake, though, so she's aware of the temptations. She's aware of the deceptions around her. But she's choosing something more fruitful for herself. And that's her. She's choosing her. So is this Lilith? I don't know. What do you want to say to me, Queen of Coins? Wow. It's a different message off of that. Oh, that's way too much. Seven of Coins. Focusing on building herself. Ace of Coins. Yes, Ace of Coins. Taking things from the past and building upon them for ourselves. Building our own security. Building our own sense of financial security, mental, emotional security. Six of Cups, the emotional security. And this weekend may have brought up some times where we're just really assessing, like I said before, where we thought we placed security, but it isn't there, right? So now there's, add the Ace of Coins with the 7, we get the 8 of Pentacles, which is more work to be done toward our own self-care, our own self-love, nurturing ourselves, but taking the lessons from the past, taking the emotion from the past. Spirit, talk to me about the dream. I keep having that running through my mind. The dream that once we believed was the direction for security, but it is not. Page of Wands, learning something new, getting a message for, yeah, some of you may be getting a message that something, or it could be a direct message, but what I'm getting more of is just like the observation of the all, the whole thing that allows you to say, okay, this what this is telling me is something's done. Something's done. And what's done is the old mindset of, and the old belief that this dream or this situation held as much security for us as it doesn't. We used to believe it held so much security for us, but it doesn't. So this new message that wants to come in, that has come in, there's the Page of Swords on the bottom, Three of Swords, Ace of Swords. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Even if that truth comes through observation. So I want to say many of you may have been in situations this weekend that showed you the truth of where a situation was, where another person was, or where a group of others were, something that once you sought out security from it. But I want to say, this isn't a tower. I was kind of seeing the tower, but it was faded in my mind's eye. It wasn't bam, So these are very, this is going to sound like a dichotomy, but they were subtle but direct messages that were coming through. And I want to say through observation, for whatever reason. I want to say through observation. And yeah, but for a minute, the truth does hurt. The truth does hurt. But it doesn't feel like you're in this, I don't feel like anyone's in this Three of Swords. It's like we're using it, like I said, Six of Cups, using the past to help grow us in a new direction. We also may, you may have also recognized within your own self in these situations as you're sitting back, eating your popcorn, watching it play out, going, no, I was hoping that would bring me security, but I don't need it. I'm secure in myself. I know how to manifest. I know how to take things that I've learned mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, maybe beliefs from your childhood, and I know how to alchemize them. I know how to, there's a burning down of them to create, and what's left is what you can create with. What's not there is all of this old belief. Does that make sense? I love that we've got the two aces here. Three aces here. So the one ace that's missing is the Ace of Wands. Let's take a look to see where that is. What is it? What's holding? Yeah, so there's a tower. The tower is in between the Strength and the Star card. There's been healing for you that we're realizing we may say, well, I don't need others, but it's like there's something about the penny dropping. It's like finally there's this, oh, now I get it. What am I looking for? Ace of Wands. Where? Yeah, there it is. In between the Queen of Swords Get my cards together here. Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So now that you've got this truth, this clarity, now you can use it to create a new future. That's why the Magician is showing up here. Now you can use it to create and take action towards something different, something new, something that's more aligned spiritually for you. I do feel like, like all day yesterday, that energy was just so intense. It was like, it was rushing through me so quickly. I don't know if y'all felt it, but there is a new dream. So talk to me about that new dream. Now that we have the truth that the old dream didn't hold the security that we had hoped, that we had maybe expected. We try not to expect now that we've gotten to this place of surrender, but we are still human, right? So there could have been some sort of expectation there, and there's this disappointment. Four of Cups and the Five of Swords. I know the Five of Swords, she's grieving over the loss of her twin flame here, but and the injustice of it all. There's something wants to come through. The injustice of it all. I'm not getting that message clear, so I'm just going to leave that there. So moving forward, Spirit, we've got the Chariot. Things are going to start moving quickly this year. Year of the Horse coming up in about a month. We shift gears. Wow. Hermit, wisdom, taking that, what we've learned. There's the Hangman, the new perspective, taking the higher new perspective and moving forward. I know the Hangman can talk about pause. This is part of that wisdom, is knowing when to slow down and integrate and process, right? And when to I don't want to say wait, but surrender to the guidance from Spirit as to what your next step should be and when it should be. So it's like there isn't any rushing. There's no rushing here. The energy is going to feel like it's rushing. It's going to feel so intense and so fast. Yesterday was just a small example of what this next 18 months or so is gonna be like, with the year of the horse. A little more than a year, because I think next year it changes a little more towards summer. Lovers and Temperance. Ooh, alchemizing our choices. There's the Temperance. There is some patience that's being required here. Choices made from the heart space, which we already know. We've got the Ace of Cups right out of the gate. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 major arcanas on the table, and 3 aces. This isn't small. This is a big transformation for those who choose to. Okay. With that being said, what is this, because this energy is happening for everyone. Nobody escapes it. Talk to me about those that are in the Five of Wands energy, those that are resisting or choosing the lower octave of what they've come here. Knight of Coins. It's going to take them a bit longer, because Spirit's got to be a little more meticulous with them. Interesting. 3 of Coins. Spirit will be bringing in helpers for these individuals who are choosing the lower path, or lower energies at least, choosing to stay in the same loops. Strength card. There is some alchemization that needs to be learned for these other individuals. There's a looking within, looking at themselves. Some need to see just how strong these energies are and the significance of the individuals in their lives and what they're moving through. Anything else you can tell us, Spirit, about those that are choosing the Five of Wands energy right now, or still? Three of Wands. They're ooh, okay, so I've got two things. They are moving into higher energy, a bit slower, yes. It's going to take a bit more time. But I'm also hearing that remember that they're also manifesting these lessons for themselves. This they've asked for this, on some level. Ten of Coins, Eight of Wands. But there's movement. It is swift, quick movement. I do want to say for some of them, there could be some family members that leave quickly. Transition off planet is what I'm meaning. They could be receiving messages through their own observation through their family, because they're repeating familial patterns, familial belief systems. It's still what they've learned, but Spirit will be moving that energy, burning that energy out of them very quickly. That's another dichotomy. It's like, it must be the word for the day, dichotomy. It's the opposite of what we think it is. It's going to move. They're going to take much slower, but don't forget that they're receiving the intensity of this as well. It is going to happen quickly in their grand scheme of time, of how they view, how we view time. But it's important that Spirit takes their time with these individuals, because, like I said before, Spirit needs to be a little more meticulous with them. There's that justice. Knight of Cups, Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, King of Swords, Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. I thought this was going toward a twin flame message. So for those of you that this is relating to a divine counterpart, twin flame, whatever you want to call that, if you've witnessed something very similar or familiar, or like the same old energy from your counterpart recently, and you may be tempted to just, they're never going to change. They're just not. If there's any kind of like really deep disappointment, because you clearly see that they're not seeing things, and maybe they're not meant to see things the way that you see the world, and that's okay. So the question might arise, excuse me, the question might arise is, how does union occur when I'm the only one that's embracing it, right? Well, it occurs. Two of Cups, Queen of Wands. The more you stand in your power, stand in your truth, the King of Swords, they know the truth on a spiritual level, or on a soul level. But so the question becomes, what is my divine masculine showing me? If this is your scenario, what is my divine masculine showing me about me? Because they are you in another form. Yeah, you are the same soul. You could be the light, and they're expressing as the shadow, right, of the unit. That can be alchemized. Temperance, that can be balanced out. So the question for you, if this is resonating for you, is if this connection is coming back in, which it feels like for many of you it is, some of you, the back of my head just started tingling right where my alto major is. Oh wow. Then how do we find balance when perhaps maybe you have a difficult time tolerating some of their lower mental beliefs about people in the world and politics and whatever. There's a level of acceptance there. This reading just took another turn, I know, but I mean it's coming through, so I have to address it. If you're asking yourself how, if you're saying to yourself, I can't see how this could ever work out, if they're still thinking that way, and you're viewing it as, okay, they're just not growing. They're just not growing. There's no maturation there. But is that really the truth? Were you sitting with expectations? Were you sitting with some hope that they would view the world exactly the way that you did because you're the divine feminine, you're the awakened one? Well, they're awakened too, but it's not. I've said this for many years that the divine masculine's journey, they may be awake in their own way, but they may not use the same words that we use. They may not speak with spirit like we do. We may not channel the way that we do. That's the aha moment here is I feel that, are they showing me my shadow? And how do I maintain the light, yet integrate that shadow? We've done it for our individual selves, right? What have we been doing on this journey if we have not integrated and befriended our own shadow? So why not with our divine masculines, those that are choosing to be the ones that push the envelope, the ones that press the buttons, the ones that pose questions that make us go, you know? I don't know why that you wanted to come through for the rest of you. So I can gather why that would for myself, but yeah. So let's get back to the main message of feeling safe in our dreams. I just kind of went blank. Are you telling me I'm done? There's been enough. Oh my gosh, 44 minutes. Didn't know I was sitting here that long. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking it's like more like 20. Time to wrap it up. All right, Joe. So there's wisdom moving forward for those that are choosing to grow, to expand. And, there is for those who aren't as well, but it's just gonna, um, it's coming to them in I kind of want to say in a little more of a direct route. whether they realize it or not. It's methodical, but Spirit's not giving up on them. Spirit doesn't give up on any of us. So let's not give up on others either, right? We are all one. Humanity needs to embrace each other, no matter who this other is in this case for each and every one of you. Family, friend, twin flame, it doesn't matter. Coworker. We can still have the dream. I feel like the dream is what's the key here. Is the dream is shifting, or the perspective of the dream is shifting. It's expanding, but it's also it's loosening up. It's like it's not so rigid anymore. It's like, okay, this is what I need for security. This is how I need my life and this person to be in my life and this situation to be in my life in order for me to be safe. But when we learn and take our, what we're learning and use the wisdom to create our own internal security with our own internal masculine energy, correct? That, you know, she's taking, I'm really getting strong Empress vibes from her. She's taking everything that she knows and she's just standing in her essence. Being the presence of herself is what creates her own internal security. And then when you have that, it's just like the vision of the dream, it shifts. It has no other choice but to shift and alchemize and change form, right? I'm going to leave it there. Not even going to end with a guidance card because I've been on here quite a while. Yeah, if this resonates, let me know. I'd be very interested in knowing how your 11/11 portal weekend went, right? Let's keep in mind, this month we've got a lot of ones, right? Yeah, we've got the 28th again is going to be another 111 day, and the 29th another 11/11 day. So we've got some time. I do want to say, be very conscious of what you're manifesting and how you're manifesting, right? Because this is very quick manifestation energy. We've got manifestation all over the place. 3 of Wands over here, Magician. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in a private reading, email is in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.